Becky.
Hello.
I don't know if you guys like choose what you wear that day. I just grab whatever shirt is on the top of the pile and throw it on.
Pretty much. Seeing
That's
that I'm
how
still living in boxes, that's kind of how my life is too. And I rotate through about 4 or 5 shirts. Like it's
Life goals, living in boxes.
yeah. My life goal is to get out of living in boxes. Like, I want to just, I know we're not supposed to rant, but I want to rant for a bit. Okay, I love my wife. My wife is great, but we were organizing one of the storage rooms today, and she literally had 4 boxes of clothes. Wait for it. Hello, Lisa. Wait for it. That was still in the wrappers, like still in plastic. She gets it shipped. She got all of it. Ask me how much she wore.
Women.
Anyways, welcome guys. Crypto Mondays.
In our closet, we have one of those hangy things that has like makeshift drawers that are just shirts, and I just grab one and put it on.
That's what
and then I wear the same gym shorts for days on end until I'm like, how many days have I worn these gym shorts? Then I get a new pair.
I found my pair of shorts that I'm missing for the past. So I've only been rotating through 2 pairs the entire summer, but I found my 3rd pair. So.
Your CTP t-shirt.
I have not. I found a smaller one of it today, but it wasn't mine. It was the one I got for my wife. So I can't find it. I don't know where it is. The last time I saw it, I was driving across the country. So I don't know. Anyways, I guess I should publish
T-shirt Mondays.
Yes.
Shirt Mondays.
Perfect. You want the good news or the bad news, guys? Good news is Crypto Mondays. The bad news, well, it's probably good news. Good news, Crypto Mondays, good news. John's not going to talk because Blaine has something to discuss this week. I have nothing.
I don't really have, like, it's not like a John Eliana doesn't talk, Blaine talks for 30 minutes type situation. It's more of a discussion that I was hoping to have. And somebody had messaged me last week right after the show, and I was like, that's a great idea for a show on Monday, especially during the Crypto Mondays. And we talk about Hive and we talk about listeners and all these things. The question that was posed to me, or the comment that was posed to me, or I don't remember how I'm not even going to look. But it's the why versus the who on the downvotes, especially on listeners. We can look at it on Hive as well. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, if you go through and you get a downvote on one of your mails and your first thought is, who downvoted me? Because you can see the downvote score, which means you can go over to the rich list and then multiply that and then divide it and do some math and figure out who downvoted you. If you're going through all that trouble, you're doing it wrong. Like, it's wrong. That's the wrong way to use the system. That's the wrong way to use it. Well, that, and what happens is people go and they find out who downvoted them, and then they call them out, and they're like, why did you downvote my stuff? Why are you downvoting me? Now I'm going to get all my posse together to downvote everything that you send out forever. Because now I'm mad because you downvoted me. And that's just the wrong mentality. Period. From my
dude, see, that takes a maturity level, and that's something, I mean, for me personally, that's, I've navigated my Hive career without getting big downvotes. Like, and I was always like, what would happen if I started getting downvoted a lot? Is it out of spite, or specifically in listeners, is it trying to tell me something? For me, listen, I'm not trying to say that I want to be downvoted left, right, and center, but at first it would be like, okay, what's the reason for it? And then second, it'd be like, okay, how can I improve? Specifically on listeners. But that's a maturity thing. I think that, and this is the age-old debate on the blockchain. Like, the rewards are not yours until 7 days. Like, that's the age-old debate. And I get it. It's not for everybody. I have been downvoted by larger accounts in the past. It didn't ruin me, especially on like listeners. I mean, listeners, it shouldn't even matter. I mean, like if you get downvoted on listeners, like ask yourself, why did I get downvoted? You know, and see if you can improve. On Hive, it's a different beast because it's like, yeah, there's a lot of moving parts with Hive, but with listeners, it's just like it's you get downvoted. It's like I don't think I got. I think I like a bunch this past week. I don't even think I got 20 yet because people are downvoting me. That's it. I'm not like, and this is you got to remember. John, Blaine, and Eliane are not sitting there collecting listeners trying to cash out. I burn everything I get in listeners. So maybe it's because I don't really have this financial attachment to what I'm earning. I'm more interested in using the system, but I get why people would get upset. But I think it's a maturity thing. I don't know. Discuss.
I'll buy that. I'll buy the maturity thing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at the same time, if you look at your mail and you see that you got a downvote, and there are people like with Excel spreadsheets keeping track of their votes and all of that stuff, and they're like, oh, my vote went down by 2.836. Well, let's
Right.
go over to the rich list and do some math and figure out who downvoted me, and then I can confront them and ask them why. That, yeah, I agree.
For
That's
goodness sake, you're wasting your time.
immature thing to do, and we've all been part of the Steam downvote wars,
Yeah. They're fun.
and that mess. But we've grown and we've moved past it. So what I'm hoping is we can kind of like fast track listeners with this whole downvote, who downvoted me bunch of crap. And my goal is, I think we need to, because we've reworked the voting system before. So I think there's a possibility to look at how the voting system works, to make it more anonymous, because the whole point of the upvotes and downvotes are the anonymity within it.
Bless you.
Bless you. Yeah, exactly.
Anonymity. Yes.
What he said.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Because if you take away that, then you take away people. Now, what I can do is, if there's no anonymity, I can go, somebody downvoted my mail, I can find out who it is, and I can put the blame on them. And
Right.
again, that's the maturity. That's the immature thing to do. Well, why did they downvote me? Who cares? Well, who downvoted you first? Who cares? Why? Probably because you suck. Let's just put it all out there up front. Whatever you sent wasn't
You
good. to
pissed
that
off a
specific
whale.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like, if you get one downvote and 27 upvotes and your score is still 32, I mean, you're still meeting the criteria, right? So like, why are we so hung up on a singular downvote by somebody and then trying to like, oh, I'm going to get all of my team to downvote all of your crap forever? Like,
But
it's
see,
wasteful.
this
It's a gang.
it plays into the Hive thing too. This is a Hive. This is a cultural thing on Hive. The downvote. There's a group of people that say it's needed, and we will take rewards from you if we feel that you are being over rewarded. There's another group of people that I will use downvotes for abuse. That's the camp I'm in. Then there's another camp of people that are just like, downvotes are garbage and they're ruining the world, and we need to go and create the Blurt blockchain. I mean, that's basically the three camps on Hive. You see that, I guess, on listeners. The difference is, with listeners, the downvote is not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world on Hive either, but you get money taken away when you get a downvote on Hive. Getting a downvote on listeners does not mean that you won't get payout. It doesn't mean that. So what you said is right. It's the why. Like, how can I improve? Well, am I doing something that's, like a little boring maybe? Can I improve a bit? This, instead of like, oh, I got downvoted and downvotes are evil and everyone's evil and I'm going to go and downvote everyone too. Because that's the culture on Hive. That is the culture.
Like, if you downvote me, you're taking money away from me, which isn't true because I haven't earned anything. So 0 was earned for 7 days. And if you are looking at it, and this is where I was talking about the me versus the community aspect. Downvoting to me should be a regulation, right? It's how people regulate good versus bad. And
Right.
I'm with the camp that's if it's crap, downvote it. If it's abuse, downvote it by all means. I don't downvote stuff on Hive because I don't upvote stuff on Hive because all that stuff is automated because I don't have time to
go
do
to the
that.
curation. There is a curation tab for downvoting. You can go
Yeah,
in.
probably. But at the end of the day, it should never be a personal. And if you're looking at it like I could have made $3 instead of the $2.25 that I made,
Downvote
we
Dr.
have bigger
Loves.
issues at hand. Like
Yeah.
for real, the goal of the upvotes and the downvotes should be to better the community. And I think this is, for me, it's for both listeners and Hive. It should be
Right.
for the betterment of the community. We want to get away from what is big on Facebook and Instagram, like all these influencers that do all their BS posts about my MLM and whatever else crap they're promoting. And we should get more towards building a community of people with the same ideas and the same ideology. And the great thing about Hive is you've got sub communities and the capability to do all this. Listeners is going to move in that direction at some point slowly. But we're just trying to get away from big ownership. And to do that, you have to have upvotes and downvotes. You have to have a regulation or regulatory body of some sort. And I think if people get mad that they get downvoted, they have a problem. Expect to be downvoted. Hope, what is it? Hope for the worst. Expect the worst. Hope for the best. Kind of situation. I don't know. I tell everybody that I downvote everything on Listeners, so I don't even.
Oh, that's fine. As long as you downvote,
Downvote
you're not playing favorites. He downvotes me all the time, guys.
I downvote John on purpose every single time. I don't care.
It's fine. It's okay.
I upvote to balance things.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Dr. Lobes brings up an interesting point here. I hate seeing listeners' mail from 4 to 5-year-old articles again and again. This is, you know what? It's like when I first started seeing it, I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's getting traction and traffic to older articles, and I get it. That's fine. What I use listeners for, though, and this is, I guess, very selfish, I use listeners for using up a lot of my curation. I'll go to listeners and start upvoting content that I find through listeners, specifically through listeners. Adrian will do a post on listeners, post it out. I upvote his stuff. Jimmy Adames does posts. I'll upvote his stuff. This Is My Life does posts. I'll upvote her stuff. I mean, that's how I find content discovery, but I also love the ability that I can support people actually using listeners. Now, that's just a personal thing. That's just a personal thing. But I agree. I mean, I think you should spice it up. Like just the same 4 to 5-year-old articles over and over again. It's like, what are you doing now? Like, it's cool to get traffic, but I don't know. Yeah.
I did once to a series of old posts, but I did inform I'm just doing this because it didn't have any views back in the day, so I did it once, but I don't do it all the time. So there should be some kind of balance. If that post has some value to be seen once or twice, it's okay, but every single week,
Spice it up. That's the best thing about it. That's going back to Blaine's why answer and question, right? It's like, why am I getting downvoted? Maybe look at your are you just promoting 4 to 5-year-old articles? Well, you've just seen a member of the community say that they're getting tired of seeing that. So maybe now, obviously, you're not going to cater to everyone, and there's going to be some people like things, some people don't. But that gives you a little bit of feedback. Maybe I need to spice it up. Why are people downvoting me? Because I'm doing the same old. Maybe I need to get. Did you guys see that post? No one cares when I start taking pictures of like quotes from books I read. No one saw it. It's okay. I'll recite it. Don't worry, guys.
I saw it. I just do the thing where I ignore John.
It's fine. It's fine. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I don't ignore. I just forget. I read,
okay.
but I don't reply.
It's okay.
We love you, John.
It's from Jim Rohn's Living an Inspired Life, a book he wrote in the 90s. And this was the quote. It said, here's one of the rules. Don't set your goals too low. In leadership training, we teach a similar guideline. Don't join the easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations are high. Go where the demands are high. Go where the pressure is to perform, to grow, to change, to read, to study, to develop new skills. We get away from all of that mentality on in crypto and the blockchain building businesses. Like, we look for, let me just stay in my comfort level. I'll stay here. I'm not going to push myself. If I just get pats on the back every day for saying hi to someone in Discord, I'm doing great. It's like, no, you're doing the bare freaking minimum, like below bare minimum. That's like the stupid simple stuff that toddlers should be doing. Like, hi Jim, hi Bob. Like, that's basic.
Hi, Becky.
Basic. Hi Becky. Yes, Becky. At Papa Crusher, exactly. It's a perfect example of the difference between a growth and a fixed mindset. The growth mindset's what's needed, but we're so fixed into our comfort levels, these little comfort levels where we get into these little bubbles and we don't want to push each other. If I get a downvote, I'm being pushed. That tells me I need to grow. Why versus who? The who don't care. If I find out and they tell me that they downvoted me, maybe I'll approach them. Hey, why? Is there something I can improve upon? But more of the why. The why is the growth mindset. I was downvoted. What am I doing? Yeah, fixed mindset is where people go to die. Exactly. Like, literally. There's say no to the status quo. That was something I lived by for years and years and years. Like, Grant Cardone wrote a book, say no to average, or die being average. I mean, we need to push ourselves. If you are not feeling a little uncomfortable, you're not pushing yourself enough. I'm going to mute myself.
I completely agree with John, even though he muted himself for some reason. And I like to call it not average, but death to mediocrity. If we show up every single day and do just the things, we're just being mediocre about what we're doing. And we see it all the time within the mails that are happening within Listener. Sometimes there's people that break out from the mess. I don't know what to call it. The list. I don't know. But for the most part, a lot of people are just mediocre at best. And we got to do better than that. Like, there's the whole purple cow thing. There's the whole stand out from the crowd. You got to be the guy looking that way when everybody else is looking that way. Whatever. It doesn't matter what you call it. Every single day we need to show up and think, how can I do this better than yesterday? How can I do this better? And if your methodology is going to look at your downvotes and trying to figure out who downvoted you, that's a wrong methodology, I think. It's incorrect. It's a waste of time. And in the long term, you cannot succeed doing that. We can't be a group of people that just hands out high fives for showing up, right? It just can't be that way. You have to actually do stuff.
Yeah, you should not get a participation trophy and like show up ribbons. Like, you need to bust your butt. You need to push yourself. Don't just settle for mediocre. I mean, just don't do it. They're playing. Look, Papa Crusher's killing it with the example. That's a good one, man.
I like that.
I like that. That's a good
deep.
one.
It's deep today.
It's deep tonight. It's again. This is and also this is Crypto Mondays. I get it. Chess is hard, man. But we come obviously from the online business world, the affiliate marketing world. So even though we want to, do Crypto Mondays and talk about crypto, we always talk about building businesses. And this is one of the things that a lot of people hate hearing. They don't want to hear that you need to be uncomfortable. You need to step out of that comfort zone. People don't want to hear that. They want to build. They want to buy a $5. Oh, what's this? Putting in 5 tip bot codes. Yes. Yeah. And that's
don't get me started.
Dude, wait, now I'm really going to mute myself because I want to hear Blaine go off on this, please. Dude, I woke up before you get like this will get you really fired up, right? Like I was really excited. I went to my post a couple of days ago, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, look at all the engagement I had. Look at all the I had so many comments. I can't wait to engage with all those people." I kid you not, one comment had 5 damn tip bots. 5.
And just a thumbs up.
And I blame America for this because tipping culture is out of hand. Absolutely, truly horrendously out of hand. Tipping culture. I went to a place the other day to get food for myself and my wife, and they asked what I wanted, and I stood there and I told them what I wanted, and then they made it, and then I slid my ass on down to the cashier, and then they turned the little iPad around to me, and it's like, what do you want to tip? 18%, 20%, 25%? I'm like, there's no tip for you. You did your job. You didn't do anything extra. You didn't go above and beyond. Why in the world are we tipping with these silly tip bots under every single possible thing? I was very hesitant about
New
the
people get confused with that.
Yeah, they do get confused because you know what happens when I put in exclamation awesome bot tip? I get 17 comments in this stupid giant picture that says, "You just tipped awesomely. Great job." Dumb. So dumb. So useless. It doesn't help Hive in any facet. It doesn't help anything. And it sends you a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a cent, which is absolutely crazy to me. Why not just send them 5 Hive? You did great. I thought you did good. Here's 5 Hive on top of my upvote.
Well, I mean, I used the peak D tipping thing for a long time. That was my thing, especially talking about older content, especially if it was past the 7 days, I could still tip an author. I'm trying to use HSBI a lot more now. So if people are taking part, obviously a few of you already know because I sent you some. But if you're taking part on the Thrive on Hive challenge, which very few people are, it's like less than 5. I will tip you HSBI because I think that's a fantastic little project. Tipping works when like I don't know. Just like give me some. I would rather a comment than one of those tip bots. Like engage with me. That's more currency to me.
Depends on the comment though.
Yeah.
If it's just like this, thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Just a thumbs
over
up.
And over and over. It's like copy pasting. Great
well,
post.
a
Thanks
lot
for
of people do
sharing.
that. Yeah.
Jeez.
Like, this is great. Thanks for sharing. I learned a lot. Dear sir.
Thanks. Much appreciated. Exclamation tipping bot.
Yeah. It's do better. Be better. This is supposed to be uncomfortable. If that's resonating with you, then look at what you're doing. Are you engaging with people? Are you talking to people? And if I don't have time to do it, so it's the least I can do. Okay, 1440, man. We all have it. Each one of us doesn't get a minute more, sometimes even less. So if people can figure out how to make comments and they're busy running around doing a million things, we can just, and maybe you're not going to post 20 comments. Maybe Eliana's only got time for 2. Sorry, go ahead.
If Dr. Lopes wakes up at 3 a.m. to watch us, we can do anything else.
But I don't know if Dr. Lopes did. He's probably just like Insomniac or something. Like, there's no way. Like, if someone put their alarm up to watch us,
most likely, I'm the crazy one. European with
setting your bar low.
US time.
Also, with these tipping bots, don't reply to somebody's tip with the tip back. It's so dumb. Yeah, that's the problem, Mike, is they just want to use up all their tips every day. That's why CTP was so low at first, but we also purposely made it so there's no reply to the post because we want it to be as incognito as possible. So, but I don't even know. Like, there are things that I've made in the past that I hate. And the tipping bots are they're the tip of the spear for me. Yeah, my screen froze. Nice.
Tipping bot you hate?
That's fine.
Oh yeah,
it was
24 minutes into before he froze though, Papa Crusher.
It's doing good. It's doing good.
It was doing good, man. It was
but anyway, back to the original discussion. If you get a downvote, whether on Hive or Listeners, it doesn't matter. Ask yourself why. Try and figure out why first. And then is it because I'm posting the same 4-year-old articles every single day?
Right.
Then that's probably why. Is it because I don't try in what I'm doing and I'm simply searching for mediocrity to build my success? Then that's probably why. Don't go on a manhunt searching for somebody that may or may not have downvoted you, because I'm tired of getting people messaging me going, hey, I don't like people threatening me with downvotes because I downvoted their stuff. So don't do that. And we're going to make it more anonymous in the future. Also, don't abuse tip bots.
I actually have a post plan this week for, I might even do it tonight. I'll probably do it tonight, talking about the CTP tipping bot. There's a couple things, and we talked about it when we first introduced it, but I think it bears just repeating just so people know. The big first obvious thing is that the CTP tipping bot, there's no post after it. You put it in, there's no notification unless you like have your eSency app up and it says you got sent CTP. That's it. There's nothing on your feed. There's no, go here to get it, or you've tipped 2 out of 20 or whatever. None of that. We wanted it to be clean. 2 other big things. One, this is part of the CTP token. So what I mean by this is that we did not magically create this tipping bot and create inflation on it. Every single tip that's sent through this is either purchase or earned from the CTP team. Every single token. Even I bought some CTP today. We've never said, oh, here's 100,000 CTP tokens, magically created them and put them into the CTP tipping bot. No. In the majority of everything we earn from creating content, we either send it to listeners or we send it to the tipping bot. So it's self-funded. Nothing ever magically created. It's from the community. But the big thing I wanted to talk about, what I'm going to talk about tonight in this post, is distribution of token. Basically, every single layer 2 token that's created in crypto starts out centralized. It does. I don't care. You can argue me. It's fine. This is what They Call Me Dan said a couple months ago when he talked about this. He says, what you do after the token is created is what counts. The CTP tipping bot is basically distributing the CTP token to everybody. I'm not the king of CTP. Eliana's not. Blaine's not. The community is. We have a bunch, but we've earned them or bought them. We never gifted them to each other. Everything that's being donated now or whatever through the tipping bot, all that stuff is from creation and curation. Nothing, or purchases. There's nothing magically inflated. So the distribution of the token now is much more spread out. I'm pretty proud of it, and I don't like using that word a lot, but the fact that this token has so many token holders, the CTP tipping bot is helping the distribution of that. So while there's a lot of exciting crypto projects out there, I know we're not the sexiest. I get it. We have the dream and now the tools in place to distribute this token to become more decentralized. There's always going to be a singular point of failure, obviously. Because it's layer 2, especially on Hive, there's no smart contracts. We are working towards that. So all of the tokens are going out to people, and the more tokens you have, the more tokens you have.
The more you earn. The more you earn, the more you earn.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I was going to say, if you look at like the CTP tipping bot, look at how it's funded and how we built all that, and that we used funds to buy the token. And I always do it on that specific account, right? So I always use funds on that specific account to buy the token, to put it out and do the tipping with it, or whatever that account may be for whatever we do. Look at all of these other tokens. Look at all of the tokens on Hive Engine and look at their history specifically with the people that own the token. And you can look at our tokens and realize that we don't issue our tokens to ourselves. But you can see that we go out and buy them all the time. And look at all these other tokens. So when you're looking at tokens, especially on the second layer of Hive, or even like Bitcoin or Ethereum, or we're not going to talk about that today. But any of this stuff, look at what the long-term goal is for it. Again, if your goal isn't long-term, if your goal is to be here for a year and make $1 million and leave, then do that. But if your goal is a long-term goal and a sustainable goal, like ours is, where I want to continue making money off of this after 5 years, after 10 years, and for the rest of my life, then look at all of the tokenomics of that token and how the people that own that token, because again, like John said, they're centralized on Hive Engine for the most part when they start. Look at that and look at what they're doing with the token so you can understand how the owner treats the token, and you can get a better idea of what the future will look like with that token. And our goal is always long-term sustainability. So
long-term. Big shout out to Taskmaster for the rant on Friday.
yeah, that was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Desk was on fire.
That was pretty good, right? Like all these people complaining about something that's like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months old. Like long-term, guys. Like I get it. Crypto is flashy. We want to go to the moon tomorrow. I get it. Build something for the future. Work hard now for the payoffs down the road. And buy our stuff.
Buy our stuff.
By Workabee. That was the
Good talk.
yes.
It's good talk. Anything else? Forgetting anything? No?
Buy index, buy more
Buy
listeners, buy more CTP, put a lot of money into the HBD savings, unsolicited, not financial advice. 20% interest rate is absolutely amazing. So me and my wife
have the
came up with a
pools as
plan
well?
to deposit a lot of money into HBD savings in the coming future, because
Go wife.
we worked out
Go
the math
wife.
on it. So we know how much it takes to get in there to make off of it. So actually, what
There
we're
you
doing
go.
is we're doing a weekly dollar cost average where we each throw in a couple hundred each week.
Very
And then
nice,
it's
very
each
nice.
week it's going to vary. So I have to build out the calendar, and you guys can't see me moving my hands around and stuff.
It's okay.
But each week on, I don't know what day we're going to do it on, Saturday or Sunday probably. We're going to go and DCA into something different. So it's going to be absolutely amazing in the long term. What we can do with that in a year. So that's our goal. One of those is index, one of them is HBD savings. Stock market's another one. So
There you go.
Nice.
Perfect. Guys, have a great week. Be good to each other. We got a CTP member, Jimmy Adames, tomorrow. Special guest for Cryptomaniacs.
Nice.
So Jimmy will be there. The listener's king will be there. So have a great night. Have a great week. We'll see you guys Thursday for Thursday Night Live. Toodles.
Bye. Blaine says bye.
I say bye.